While the 2020 BMW S1000 XR has been around since late 2019, it's not a bike that I see often. In fact, up until today, I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to truly examine this adventure GT from BMW. Now, thanks to BMW Motorcycles of Southeast Michigan, I'm finally going to get my hands on it. Now, this bike looks a bit different. It looks a bit bigger like the GS model, but it's got sportsy Metzler slicks. It's got a huge windshield to protect the rider from bugs and the elements, and a very aggressive riding position, and a max speed well over 130 miles an hour. In the motorcycle world, the BMW S1000 XR is considered an adventure grand tourer. An adventure grand tourer motorcycle is usually abbreviated GT, and it follows along the convention of what makes a GT car. Right? A sports motorcycle that is designed for high speed and long distance driving, due to a combination of performance and luxury attributes. In this arena, there are a few great motorcycles that really help gobble up the miles, like the KTM 1290 Super Duke GT, the Kawasaki H2 SX SE Plus, the Yamaha Tracer 900 GT, Ducati's Multistrada V4, and so many more. In this field, it's stacked with competition. The BMW S1000 XR was first launched in 2015 and was built until 2019 without any updates. In 2020, BMW changed a few things around to address a few complaints, like the heavy vibrations coming from the bars. In 2020, the BMW S1000 XR got a completely new engine to help with the strict Euro 5 emission regulations. The peak power and torque figures are exactly the same as they have been in 2015, which is 162 horsepower at 11,000 RPM and 84 pound-feet of torque at 9,250 RPM. One of the biggest jumps in performance came to an improved fuel consumption rate, which is now claimed at 45.6 miles per gallon, up from 42.2 miles per gallon. That gives you about 20 extra miles on the road. While most people expect a bump in numbers for a model update, it's impressive to see the numbers remain the same as they have been in the previous version, while now being under the Euro 5 emission regulations. The 4th, 5th, and 6th gears have all been lengthened just slightly. That results in engine speeds being lowered by about 8% on those cogs. That helps improve economy slightly, makes for far more relaxed motorway touring, and change the speed at which the engine resonates. The exhaust end can is significantly smaller than the previous model, and it saves 1.2 kilograms right there, and making it for a sleeker rear end. As a result, the collector box, which is now tucked under the engine, is bigger now, but you wouldn't notice it. The bike that I had at my disposal had the sports style package fitted to it, so the white and racing blue red stripes, the Akrapovic silencer, and the shorter and sportier windshield. In an effort to improve the power to weight ratio, there were a lot of small savings made across the bike, right? 2.1 kilograms off the chassis, 1.6 kilograms of that was in the swing arm, 7.3 kilograms off the drivetrain, which was 5 kilograms from the engine, 0.4 kilograms off the ABS unit, 1.2 kilograms off the exhaust, and 1.8 kilograms off the wheels. Even though almost 11.6 kilograms were shaved off from the previous version of the bike, with the addition of the new engine, LED lights, TFT screen, and integrated pannier rack, the 2020 bike weighs 2 grams less than the outgoing model. The suspension on this bike sports semi-active dynamic ESA suspension units, integrated with a suite of electronic systems to assist rider versatility and safety. The list is long and includes brake assistant, DBC dynamic brake control, dynamic traction control, rain, road, dynamic, and dynamic pro riding modes, hill start control mode, LED headlights, and among other options are the ABS Pro, adaptive turning lights, and HP shift assist, or quick shifter, right? There also is this function for wheelie control that's said to allow the front wheel to lift to a certain designated angle, and then it stays there. Obviously, that's one of the cooler pieces of technology on this bike. The new brakes are BMW branded Hayes calipers, similar to those that we've seen on the R1250 GS, and replace the Brembos of the previous model. They've got all the bite and power you could wish for on a machine with this much power, though at a walking pace, sometimes softer dampening could make them feel a touch sharp. Now, what else is worth discussing on this bike? Besides the redesigned top yoke dampening, the bars are now set a little further away from the rider and are about 30 millimeters narrower. This makes for a less aggressive riding position, and that should be more comfortable over longer distances, while still maintaining that excellent commanding riding position. The seat height's the same on paper with various options for shorter or taller riders, but a narrower saddle makes for a slightly lower standover height. The bike I'm on today has a full low suspension setup with the lower seat installed. Now check out this clip of me. I'm about 5'10" and I'm getting on the bike. I'm obviously in shorts, so throwing my leg over is much easier than in the long rider gear, but I'm able to do so without getting on a footrest. The new TFT Dash has a very clear display as standard, though it was scrolling through to the sport option that I loved. Right, it shows brake pressure, DTC intervention, and lean angle, as well as revs, speed, trip, and the normals. There's an optional headlight that introduces cornering function to the full LED lighting system as well. Since it was bright in the middle of the day, I really couldn't take advantage of that or see how it would react, but something that I'm going to test out in the future. There's obviously going to be an option for a quick shifter to make your ride even sportier than the previous generation and to the competition. And one of the more interesting updates to the bike was the inclusion of integrated pannier racks for BMW's luggage system. They've dampened so loading them up will have less of an impact on the handling of the bike, especially at higher speeds. While I've not had the chance to ride this glorious bike yet, this seems like a very promising motorcycle. With an extremely rev-happy engine and one of the most comfortable riding positions in the market, it should be nothing but smiles and the perfect bike for those long, curvy adventures. When I get the chance to jump on the bike in the upcoming days, is there anything that you guys want me to focus on my review on? I'd love to know it. Let me know in the comments below. Now, that's it for now. I wanted to give another big thank you to BMW Motorcycles of Southeast Michigan for letting me check out their lovely dealership. If you're interested in the 2021 BMW S1000 XR that's in this video, I'll have a link below in the comments. Now, go out there and ride safe. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.